Hey everybody, we're back up to the bus. Get the whole family here this week, although the boys are currently attached to their tablets, so we won't see them much. Let's talk about what we did. I think that I missed a week of filming, and I missed a couple weeks of posting. Oops, sorry. However, in that week, what I have done is, you saw a lot of this, we got the door frame. Both inside and outside are now attached to the bus, I believe. Actually, the outside might still need a little bit more riveting to the outer skin. But we'll get there. In fact, I think the outside's only fitted up now that I think about it. I don't think it's attached at all. The inside, however, is attached via 4 grade 5, I believe, bolts. They didn't have grade 8. But 4 3/8 inch grade 5 bolts that go all the way through. They are shimmed out. And they did pull this into more of a true, this is now a much more square, true, better reference plane for our door hinge. That'll be what I use as a reference plane. This piece, the outer piece, as we recall, is mostly cosmetic. I mean, it'll take weight, but it's mostly cosmetic. It has been welded up and then ground over and primed. So that is now one piece, and I actually no longer think I can take it out of the bus, but I do have to fix it. And the plan for fixing that into the bus is basically to rivet it onto the existing ribs that it leans up against. So there's that. I also got a few more pieces of wood up on the walls, a little bit more strapping in place, and that's actually what we're going to keep going with today. Soon I want to kind of get the bulk of the strapping done because we are trying to find. Say hi, Sue.
Hi.
I think you're in the shot. I can't even tell
Hello.
you.
I can't tell.
Yeah. Because we want to try to get spray foam done, preferably in the month of November. It is beautiful out right now, but it's going to get cold and it's going to make spray foam harder. So that's our big push right now. Trying to get to the point where they can spray foam on all of the big flat surfaces. And if I have to go back a little bit later and hit it, get a little bit of great stuff type fill in, then that is what it is. It's fine. We'll move on from there. So today it's probably going to be a bunch of us just getting strapping up on the walls. I had talked a little bit about it before, I believe. We are following the Chuck Cassidy method of getting the strapping on the wall as well. He actually just released a video a few weeks ago about how he does his strapping. He uses plywood, not strapping, but I'm using strapping because that is exactly what it's designed for. But other than that, we're pretty similar. He also uses a different type of screw to join the two pieces of wood together. You'll see that as we're working, we do a first layer using self-tapping screws, then we do a second layer, and I'm using a deck mate screw that I'm not getting really any splitting on, so I'm not necessarily bothering to pre-drill. He does do that, and I mean, more power to him. But I think that's it. I'm going to probably set up a time-lapse camera, and we're going to knock out some of this work today. Here we go. Okay, so it's time for a brief aside where we discuss why you want to go a little slow building a bus. Originally, this bus had 2 air conditioners that we have removed large chunks of, but I left the wiring in thinking I might use it because I might put one of those air conditioners back in. This is the wiring. It comes along here and then drops down through a rib to get to the bottom of the bus. In my completely finite wisdom, I sunk a screw down from here. Now I've moved it to here and then put another one on top. This is the screw that doesn't go through. But I sunk a screw here. I may have also sunk a screw right here. which means that there's a decently good chance that I screwed up those multi-core wires. This means two things. First, I gotta back pull this stuff. So I have to go down onto the bus, disconnect it, and pull those wires out to see if I damaged them. I also probably need to put an inspection camera. I happen to have a like $20 USB inspection camera. I have to put an inspection camera down this pipe to see if I sunk any screws in there. I probably didn't need to be going this fast. And now it's going to cost me a lot more time. Oops. Okay, so the time lapse kicked off early and I didn't fix it. Sorry. Anyways, not a lot to go through today. Mostly what we did was get more of this wood installed. We now have wood running front to back throughout almost all of the back 2/3 of the bus, the sort of the house area of the bus. We still have to do, if I can point it out, on the bottom here, I've started putting in blocks to run a furring strip along the floor here, and I still have to do a furring strip along the floor there. And then we still have to do the ceiling at the front of the bus, and then all of our sort of longitudinal furring strips will be in place. I still haven't figured out what I want to do with this yet, or the back. That's going to be a little bit more interesting. Now, the alcove in the back, this is all going to be a built-in shelving unit, so I can pretty much ignore all of this. I don't need to attach anything to this, but if I wanted to, I could run a furring strip across like those pieces. We'll see what I do. This part in the front, I need to figure that out. I don't have an answer for that yet. I should probably think about that, but we'll get there. I suppose I could try doing something like screwing into this and then maybe this and going across that way. Well, up here though. Probably don't block the shelving unit. That just get me in trouble. Something to think about. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. That's on the list of stuff to figure out. I talked earlier about having possibly screwed up and drilled through some of that multi-core wire. I totally drilled through one of them. We clipped them at the control unit, the internal control unit for the AC, which is on the front part of the, just kind of over the driver's seat in the front. I'll probably have to relocate that. I clipped them off there and pulled them both back, and I had absolutely drilled through one of them, so genius there. I don't think my inspection camera's up here, and I don't have my laptop up here. So next week when we're up here, maybe I'll grab some footage of the of inspecting that that chase through the rib and seeing if I left a screw in there. If I left a screw in there, I'm going to have to find a new chase. That was smart. Super smart. But that's about it for this week. Next week, I'm hoping to finish up the furring and get some wiring done. I did actually buy some lights. So one of the things that we're coming across as I sort of get ahead of myself here, one of the things that I am thinking about is that on the front of the bus here, there are four, see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 flasher housings. We don't need them. In fact, you can't have flashers. That'll get you in trouble. I had thought about putting not really headlights, but lights up in that area. So they wouldn't flash. They'd be on or off. We'd never be able to use them on the highway. But we might be able to use them like if we were going on a BLM road out west, or if we were at a campsite. And what I thought about doing is actually doing 2 circuits up there. One that had floodlights and one that had spotlights. So you could do a spotlight kind of in the center too, and then a floodlight in the back. This, we have the same thing going in the back. And I need to figure that out. I know a lot of people just do deletes. And that makes a lot of sense on a lot of buses. It's just pull those little shades off and cover over those holes. My issue, that's not steel. In the back it's steel. I could do deletes in the back if I wanted to. In the front, that's actually fiberglass. That's a fiberglass cap. I don't know why Thomas did like one chunk of the bus out of fiberglass, but that one front chunk of the bus, that's fiberglass. I don't want to do fiberglass deletes. That seems like a lot of work. And I kind of like the look of the bus with the 4 dots there. So I'm trying to put lights in there. Not flashers. Again, flashers aren't okay. Not amber. They'll be white. And probably never on when I'm on a public road. I picked up these, hoping that they'd be right. They're 4.5 inch wide. The list says being 4s, but everyone complains in the listings that they're actually 4.5. They look stupid. I put them in there. They don't fill the hole very well. So I'm still looking. The hole is like 7 inches, maybe 6.5, something like that. So I'm gonna look for some 6-inch lights that might fit in there. The problem is that it turns out they don't do a lot of floods in 6 inches. These are combination flood spot. I don't really like them because you can only have the floods. I'm sorry, you have to have them both. So whenever you turn the floods on, you get the spot. I'm thinking that if we're in an RV park somewhere and I want to turn the floods on to light the front of the bus, maybe the people directly in front of me don't want the spots. Maybe. Something to think about. So I'm on the hunt for lights, and that is another thing that we might look at wiring if I can find something in the intervening week. We were hoping to be up here next week, so I hope to have another video out. I actually think I have one sitting on the hard drives that will probably come out before the lighting video. I don't know. It's tough to keep up with this. But anyways, whatever comes out next, and hopefully next week, Until then, like, subscribe, and have a great week. Bye. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost forgot. In the background, you probably saw my dad working on a project this week too. And it's not done, but I'm going to give you the preview. He is starting to work on filling in the killer death hole. I, Sue, and my dad, I think the kids even, have all stepped backwards into this hole at some point and damn near broken an ankle or smashed our heads. So he has put in a little bit of wood around the outside edge here, and he's doing another thing that's a 3/4 of an inch. He's doing another lip 3/4 of an inch in, and then we will do a lid that fits down into this. And when we do our flooring, we'll be able to make a nice small cut around for the flooring. I'm actually unreasonably excited about this because I'm really sick of almost killing myself in here. All right. Have a great week.